All right, let's start grabbing the information from our WordPress here. So this part here, I'm just going to copy this quick because I know I'm going to use it a little bit. So the URL with shows, or the name of your custom post types, I'm just going to put it down here real quick. Maybe I can just do it inside the script so it doesn't actually break it. So like this is just the link for my HTTP here. So inside my created, I'm going to just basically do what we did with the previous one when we used Axios to grab information from our own local database where we convert our SQL to PHP to JSON. Very similar to this, we're basically just going to change out the URL up there. So we start off by Axios and get like this, parentheses, quotation marks, and now I'm taking this, the link, the URL, and I'm just pasting this inside here, and this is grabbing that information, right? So what we want to do is now we want to create a promise called then. So if this happens, then I want it to do something. I'm just going to put this on a new line so it's easier to read. So if it grabs this, save the data and do something to it, right? Inside this, I'm going to just call this response. You can call it data or VP information or whatever you want really. This is not just the variable I'm saving things into. And then I'm using the fat arrow notation for the function. And then inside this, I'm going to tell the system to store this information in a object here. And what we want to store it is inside this VP items here. So we already created this. This is ready for use, ready to actually store information. So we're going to do that. So we're going to use this keyword here again. So we can grab that object up here, stage object up here, paste this in. So this .vp items, and we are setting this or assigning, this to our data that's coming into our system. That was response, right? We also want to add data to this because I'm just going to show you the difference. So I'm just going to do a console log. You don't have to do this. You can just check my screen. So response, I'm just printing out the response, right? This that I'm saving here. So what does this actually mean for our system? So let's refresh, go to, whoops, not that one. A little bit quick on the finger, and inspect, console log, and now we can see we have an object here. And this object contains config data, headset, request, and so on and so on. But what we want is just the part where the data is. So we just want the object for, let's go, I don't know if this one, don't know. Object data, I can't even, where's the slug here? Where we go. So this is for the kernel keep here. And this is the part we want. We just want this data object, not all 4 of these. So that's why we do this. And I just real quick show you, if I add the data to my console log, how does it look now? It's just easier for us to grab, and we don't have to type data each time we have to get the information. Without that, if we can do this, no problem. But then we just have to type a lot of .datas everywhere. That's really boring. Cool. So now we know we have the data. It's being used and stored, and we also just want to make sure that if something goes wrong, we also want to be able to catch this error here. So let's do a catch, and inside this we have error, and we're using the fat arrow notation for the function again, and then we're doing the console log, and if there's an error, print it out, right? So just like we did in the previous videos right now. Cool. No errors. If your page is working, then awesome. Don't neglect this one right now if you have the same one. But right now we're storing information into our items up here. So we can just do a quick console log as well. And let's see if it's actually there. And if it's not, who cares? So let's see if there's something here. It's VP items is not defined. That's because we need to do this one here. And hopefully we can see our objects here. So we have objects in here, and that's great. So now we can actually start using this for our code here. Awesome. We're going to grab information in the next video so this doesn't get too long.